What is up, everybody? Skratch coming up with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Hope you guys are having an amazing day. We are currently on the test server, guys. We're gonna have a look at the newly improved Black Knight champion, and I gotta admit it, I've always been a bit of a simp for Black Knight. I'm not sure why. Maybe because we have increased defense, continuous heal on a 2-turn cooldown, tanky champion, the passive, something, I don't know, something always made me feel positive about the champion. Even though he was not the most powerful champion in the game. Well, guess what, guys? He got buffed, and I really think it's time to take him out of your vault and put him in action. Put him to do some work. We're gonna test to see what sort of damage we're getting out of his A3 now that it got modified, and his damage is based on HP only, not attack. This was always kind of like intended to be a pretty solid skill all around, and if you look at him, I actually have no gear whatsoever. What we're going to do, we're going to take the gear from Magnar and we're going to give him that gear just to take him up for a spin to see the newly improved version, right? We're going to fix the masteries and we're going to test him in different areas of the game. We're going to go over his kit, and the A1 has a chance to provoke. It's a 75% chance to provoke, making him amazing not only for Faction Wars, but for Hydra, making him amazing for the Magma Dragon as well. I really feel like all around as a champion, he's not bad. 75% on the A1 to provoke is definitely very solid. And the A2, a 2-turn cooldown, continuous heal and increased defense buff on all allies for 2 turns. So you're always gonna keep this up on your allies. This makes him good for clan boss. A lot of times you're struggling to keep all the buffs on the clan boss, to have increased defense during the AoEs, during the stun, to make sure your champions are staying alive. Well, you don't have to worry about that anymore with Black Knight. Of course, he doesn't really bring you anything else that's relevant for clan boss, unfortunately. What I would really love to see on Black Knight is to have an aura, you know, something that, I don't know, gives us either defense, either HP, either accuracy, either something. That would definitely make the champion even better. Now, this skill right here was recently buffed, changed. The damage was based on HP and attack. Now it's only on HP. I'm very curious to see what sort of numbers we're getting out of here. I was talking with my buddy Saf actually about it, and he kind of said that the damage is much better now on the base. So just starting with the skill, using it, you're getting better damage. But the value kind of lost it a bit once you're dropping a lot of HP on the champion and attacking after, you know. So that kind of changed a bit. The passive places an unkillable buff on this champion for 1 turn if incoming damage exceeds 15% max HP in 1 attack. And this is on a 2-turn cooldown. You could definitely make Black Knight a pretty solid stun target for clan boss as well, you know, because he's gonna place unkillable on himself. Definitely a pretty good option if you don't have none of the big boys that can play this role for you in the team. So what we're going to prioritize right now, guys, is going to be a damage build. We're going to get the full crit rate, we're going to get tons of HP and as much crit damage as possible. Now, in terms of accessories, I'm going to show you what I have on already. So I have an HP ring, I have a crit damage amulet. I prioritize getting some HP from here. You could prioritize either HP, either accuracy. And of course, I went for an accuracy banner. Masteries, we're going to get that done in a second, but most probably we're going to go on support and offense tree because we want to test the damage too. And we want to have accuracy, right? It's very important for his A1 to have accuracy if we want to use the champion all around. He is not a PvP champion in my opinion. Even though he can slow you down, he was kind of like well known around 2 years ago as being a champion that was kind of like messing up a lot of offenses because he was slowing them down, you know. So let's actually get all the gear that we have. I know I have a crit damage set and a savage on Magnar, so we're quickly gonna look for the pieces. You guys are gonna get to see them while we are doing it here in the process, so you know what pieces we're getting. So that's the helmet that we have on Magnar. Let's try to use that. I'm gonna get the exact same gear off, you know, so I'm not gonna look to bring anything else in. This is the shield, and we can actually move all the way down to Savage now and find everything that we have on Magnar. There we go. You see, crit rate crit damage, HP. We don't want to have attack, we don't want to have defense. We want to have as much HP as possible because this is a HP based nuker. So the higher the HP, the higher the damage, you know. HP chest piece, and we're looking for the crit damage gloves somewhere here. There we go. Magnar. Unfortunately, no HP percentage on the gloves. I'm really lacking nice gloves, man, unfortunately. And we should have HP boots. Where is Magnar? There we go. And this is actually a 5-star, not even a 6-star. And then the masteries should give us the missing crit rate. We actually have pretty good speed and pretty good HP all around. So 87k HP I feel like is fairly decent. 250 accuracy, that's gonna increase a bit. But let's put all the gear on. In terms of masteries, how I mentioned, we're gonna go on offense and support. So we're gonna get typical nuker masteries in a way or another. So we're getting the extra crit rate, keen strike, get Heart of Glory. Everything will be kind of like important. Even though I feel like getting a Grim Resolve can help him quite a bit when we're dropping the HP, but I feel like it might not happen as often. So we're gonna get Cycle of Violence. It's no point to bring it down because, hey, we already have so much HP, right? And Kill Streak. We're gonna get Helm Smasher just to check the damage. I would definitely run this champion with Wardmaster, but we're gonna change the masteries after a bit. And I'm not gonna get nothing else here because on the support, I actually want to do it a bit different. So we're gonna go on Swarms Meter, go on Evil Eye, and because nothing is actually gonna help us, no Sniper, no Master Hexer, we're gonna go on Cycle of Magic and go on to Lasting Gifts. That's something that's gonna help us with his A2. So total stats, we have 86,000 HP, 2k attack, which doesn't matter, 2.5k defense gives us a bit of a better survivability, 197 speed, full crit rate, 268 crit damage, 260 accuracy. Let's take him in for a spin on Dragon 23, where we're gonna see the damage. Like how I mentioned, I would really love to see this champion with an aura, you know. An aura would definitely make him better. Either defense, either something in there. Something that would actually benefit the champion. So I don't actually need to bring anything else in here. So let's just see, where is he hiding? There we go. You see, no aura. I don't want to use Venus's aura, even though he's gonna help Black Knight. I'm gonna skip that part. So let's see. Defense down, weaken. We cannot increase his damage. We cannot decrease his damage. So increase attack, decrease attack, defense up, defense down is not gonna affect it. But let's see like this, what sort of damage we're actually getting. Okay, so the damage, it doesn't feel like it got buffed. It doesn't feel like he's gonna smack. I feel like, yeah, building him in the way that I currently have him is definitely a waste. So building him in Savage is just not a good idea whatsoever. Getting Helm Smasher, not a good idea whatsoever, because even though they changed that on him, he's just not going to bring in a lot of damage. And we're gonna stay and use this skill again once we're gonna drop the HP and see if that by any chance helps. Seems like the A1 actually hits harder. So how you see, attacks all enemies. Damage increases according to the amount of HP this champion lost. So we lost more than 50% HP. But again, you see the damage, it still didn't increase a lot. It's not really working in the same way like it works for Leorius, for just as an idea. So I feel like Black Knight as a damage dealer is a no-no. Does that mean that the buff is still not great? Well, let me show you what you can actually do with a Black Knight if you don't want to build him for damage. So let's just say I would want to use Black Knight either in Hydra, either on the Magma Dragon, either in Faction Wars, either use him in just general content, right? Not prioritizing damage on the champion. It doesn't mean that you don't want to have some crit rate, because it can help you with the damage all around, but definitely using him on Savage will be a waste. Most probably, if I would only prioritize to use this champion for Hydra, I would most probably go with Relentless. Now, for the purpose of the video and because we are planning to use him a bit more all around, we're not gonna give him anything fancy. No Relentless, no Savage, no different sets. We have a mixture of sets right here, okay? These are the total stats on him at the moment. We're gonna change the masteries to War Master instead, while we're gonna keep everything else the same. I do have defense gauntlet instead of HP, just because I want to keep the champion alive, right? So having the increased defense is going to help him too. Since we are not prioritizing only damage on the champion, I feel like it would be a waste to go on a very high HP with super low defense, because all around would not benefit the champion at all. So we're going to go in like this. We're going to go on the masteries with Heart of Glory. That's something that will definitely help the champion a bit more. We can go on Bring It Down because we are going to fight bosses, so that will actually benefit. War Master. And I'm still going to go on a support to get the accuracy. That's going to be actually pretty beneficial. And right here we have two options. So either we're going to go with Rapid Response, which I kind of prefer, because we're going to buff more, right? So we're going to gain more turn meter. We can go with Evil Eye. That's going to help us against bosses if we are prioritizing anything in dungeons. If you are not, you can go with Lord of Steel, of course, up to you. Cycle of Magic. And I'm going to go down with Lasting Gifts. And Garen kill streak is a bit pointless, so I'm going to go with Spirit Haste. In case if any allies dies, we're going to get a bit of more speed in here. So right now, we have Black Knight up and running. 226 speed, 350 accuracy. This is actually plenty for any boss in the game except the Iron Twins Fortress. And I feel like he could definitely be pretty good like this. Do some work for us. Let's actually take him in the Doom Tower. Can go on the Magma Dragon floor 100. I won't need extra accuracy from here. Ethos is kind of like my wave killer usually, just to allow me to go faster at the boss. But you see, my main problem that I have here, I don't have any aura that's actually gonna benefit me in the Doom Tower. So if I'm gonna take Husk out, which again is gonna be pretty good damage on the boss, and let's just look to bring in an aura that could actually just help us a bit, you know. Tomb Lord, yeah, would be great, but I feel like it's just gonna do a bit of a too much work in there, you know. So let's just find something else. In all battles, there we go. I don't even have gear on this epic champion, but let's go in like that. He's actually the new taunt epic champion. Ethos is pretty slow compared to the other champions, seems like it. Usually he's just hammering the waves, taking me in all the way to the boss, but because the rest of the champions are pretty fast here, is actually important. So we have all the buffs, right? Continuous heal, increased defense. What we really need in order to deal with this boss is having the provoke. Very important. I feel like 75% chance to provoke is definitely more than enough for a champion, you know, on the A1. Like most of the times he's gonna keep the provoke on the boss, so he's gonna do the job. All the healing that we're getting from him is actually very nice. Increased defense, continuous heal on such a short cooldown is actually amazing, you know. I feel like that's why I've always been a simp of Black Knight, you know. We don't have a lot of damage on the boss. No enemy max HP. Ithos, no matter how powerful he is on the waves, he's barely doing any work on this boss here, you know. I wish I would have taken Tomb Lord instead of Stag Knight, just to have this run done a bit faster with the poisons. That would have helped quite a bit, you know. Definitely would have helped a bit more. It's funny to see that, yeah, our epic champion with no gear is just staying alive there, only because Black Knight is constantly provoking the boss, you know. Let me know in the comments down below, what champions are you guys using for the Magma Dragon? We do have War Chief as well, which is a very hated champion, let me put it like that. Nobody's really excited to pull the champion or anything like that. But he's so freaking powerful here because of his 3-turn cooldown provoke, you know. He's the only champion that can do that. So if you have a War Chief, it is another good option to have right here on the Magma Dragon for the provoke. All the champions can get resisted because of the 3% chance, regardless of how much accuracy you have and stuff. But it seems pretty straightforward. They are doing the job. I like Black Knight a lot in here. I gotta check what Hydra rotation I have on, just to kind of like show you a bit how he would help you in Hydra, you know? Because he can be pretty good to control the Head of Decay, which is one of the most annoying heads in the entire game for Hydra, because cleansing, healing, shielding, you know, is definitely becoming very powerful for Hydra, and it's the biggest problem that you're gonna encounter most probably. Head of Mischief can be controlled as well. But I feel like the Head of Decay now with Provoke, it became pretty straightforward. Provoke him, deal with his issue, and that's about it. But you need to have a very reliable Provoke champion on the team if you want to do it in that way. So Black Knight, 650k damage, right? War Master helped, but he healed 1.4 million damage. He actually healed more than Seal of the Drakes, okay? Which we all know she's a pretty powerful healer. Let's have a quick look at what we can do in Hydra. So here we go, guys. This is the Hydra rotation that we have at the moment. Unfortunately, the affinity is Spirit, so we're gonna have multiple champions in here that can provoke, because it's never enough to go only with one in Hydra. At least that's kind of like my opinion. I always prefer to have a couple extra champions in there to do the job, just in case if anything might go wrong. So we're gonna go in like this. I'm actually gonna let it go on full auto. This right here is, if I'm not mistaken, is the normal difficulty. I don't want to spend a lot of time to do it. It's mainly just to give you an idea of what the champions could do. I'm actually gonna target that head because that's something that I'm always doing, you know. Nobody's gonna go and start with the provoke directly because, hey, that's kind of like how it happens. We're gonna get the toxic cloud right there. If I was gonna manual from the beginning, I was gonna try to provoke first to prioritize that on the head. But from here on, I can actually remove it, so we can let them go on and do the job. I'm not even sure how much damage we need in order to one key normal. I haven't done normal since the first week when Hydra got released, so honestly I forgot, but I think it's 6 million if I'm not mistaken. So we're gonna let them go on. The AI on Hydra is still very bad. That's one thing that I wanna mention. It's super bad, the AI, because they're not prioritizing the right champions. You would expect the provoke champion maybe is gonna be smart enough to know to go and provoke the head that can be provoked, not go for affinity. Whenever they get to devour champions, they are not being targeted by our champions. So the AI is pretty bad on Hydra still after all this time. So let's actually target this head just to make sure we're getting the provokes on. Being Spirit Affinity is a bit harder because we do have 3 force champions that can provoke actually here, so a lot of weak hits. But all the healing from Black Knight, the increased defense is definitely pretty solid too. We do have a bit of shield from that Knight that's gonna help us, a bit of more healing from there, Mashal with the damage too. We have a lot of healing in the team all around, you know. Maybe we have too much healing actually. But as long as we manage to provoke the Head of Decay right here, is actually gonna be much easier to do Hydra, as long as we manage to provoke it. If we don't, that's gonna cleanse, it's gonna increase their thermometer, it's gonna shield them. If that shield expires, it's gonna heal them, you know. And Hydra becomes a pain, it becomes so much harder. Like right now, if I'm not provoking the head, I'm gonna get in trouble because he's gonna get to cleanse, unless I'm gonna kill it before, you know. But let's see what's gonna happen. Seems like Ugo, she just took like a million turns, literally a million turns. Crazy actually. Black Knight, are you provoking or using the A2? Let's see. Okay, you're using the A3 actually. We killed the head before we got to provoke it again. But that's pretty much how it goes, you know. Provoke the head constantly. That's why Black Knight, he can actually help out. Give you some healing. I do have a lot of healing in this team. A lot of you guys might not be able to bring in so much healing and damage and all sorts of things like this. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. How many of you guys are actually using Black Knight? Like, this is definitely gonna be an easy one key for what I'm doing right here, guys. But provoke is gonna be very important. That was all for this video. Much love, appreciate all of you guys watching, and I'll catch you all soon in the next one. Peace.